Tell you what, it is definitely windy here today. There we go. Check, 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 check. There we go. Check, 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 check. There we go. Nice. Alright, so we'll try to have that not echo. Oh, sorry about the technical difficulties, guys. Hey, RST's in here. What's up, RST? Oh, thanks for being here. We're just getting loosened up before we start doing some speed training again. It's good having one of these as a way to work your way up too, so you know that you're not like gonna have to try to swing. You know, you don't want to go right to 100%. You gotta warm up the engine a little bit. RST says, shot 54 on my evening 9, not great, but 3 pars. I got 54 on my evening 9. Well, that's all right. You know, 3 pars. That means it has a few tough holes out there, but you know, if you make par on a third of the holes, then you know it's in there. You know it's possible. Oh. But are you young, white, and rich? Have you watched all of the Rambo movie? You hear about the Hulkster. I did hear about the Hulkster. That was sad. I have not watched the Rambo movie yet, Miller. I'm sorry to report back that I still, between now and yesterday, I've not done it. I still haven't done it. I just, you know, I pride myself on transparency. Didn't do it. I did not do it. Soon. Well, this would be a nice direction to be hitting on the course. Straight downwind. Feels like it's down and maybe a little bit off the right, which is super nice. All right, let's start keeping score. So here, guys, we're going to do 5 swings with each of these weighted clubs, and along with my driver, we'll take the highest one. All right, these are the super speed. Any more space for some tattoos? Good question. I do have more space on this leg. I don't have anything on like my stomach, you know, below my chest. And most of my back is still open, so yeah, there's definitely room. So this is the super speed system, guys. These are 3 different weighted clubs, light, medium, and heavy. I'm gonna swing my own driver as well. Give us a baseline. And then we have an extremely official tracker right here, where we keep track of both the righty and lefty swings. All right. Always trying to stay in balance. 107 there for our baseline. $108. Got the backswing on that one. $108 again. $108 again. Let's give it one more try. $109. All right. So we'll mark that down. 109 baseline. Now we go to the green club. This is the lightest one. Same idea. We're going to do 5 swings. Then we're going to flip it around, swing it lefty. We'll keep track. Don't worry, guys. I also have a nice spreadsheet. If you guys are spreadsheet people, we can share some of that. All right. 117. 120. Got the backswing. 118. 119. 121. I can only imagine how much you spent on all those tattoos. Why pay to poison your body? I heard a fart. Maybe you did. It wasn't over here, but I'm not going to be the one to tell you you didn't hear one. All right. We're going to move our launch monitor over here to the other side. Grab that same club. Be swinging left-handed. 107. 106. 108. 109. Got the backswing. All right. Up to 109. On the lefty side. Take 60 seconds before we start the blue club protocol. You know, frankly, Veiled Messenger, I think it's crazy that you haven't spent any money poisoning your body. You know, it's actually one of the funnest things you can do. Got my arm up to 26 miles an hour there, guys, in case anyone's wondering. All right, blue club now. $116. Got the backswing. 115. Got the backswing again. Got the backswing again. Come on, brother. Hell yeah, brother. Let's give this guy a quick reset, see if it wants to behave. $113. 115. One more. 117. Let's go. Mason says hi. Hey, Mason. Can you use a 5-iron? I don't actually have a 5-iron in the bag right now. I've got a 5 hybrid. Yeah, we can hit some different shots after we do the speed training protocol. All right, now we go to the left side. 100, 102, 100, 103, 102. All right. Tats can't hide those skinny legs. 103 max on the left side. The red club. The blue club, I should say. We're gonna do the red club next. Catch our breath here for a second. Important to stay hydrated when you're working outside in the heat, guys. Adventure Brothers said hello. Mason, we can hit some other clubs after the speed training. Just got to do all that in a row first. DP retracted their message. They just weren't ready to say how they felt. All right. Red club here. Let's get it going. Got the backswing. 109. 109 again. 107. 107. 109. All right. Move over to the left side. 109 with our red club today. How much are the speed training clubs? Pod Plays Golf just hit 50 subs. Can't stream yet, but soon. Also about new clubs. That's awesome, Pod Plays Golf. Congrats. Keep up the hard work. I remember those days when, you know, I just started my channel. It was this winter. Started in January. It was the first video I posted, and I remember being so excited. I was like, man, I can live stream now. When I, you know, I started doing that, started doing this. You know, you start building. It's just one day at a time, same as anything else. How's it going? Going well. Thanks for asking. How are you guys? What's the best you've ever shot? 64 is my low score. How much are the speed training clubs? I want to say I paid like maybe 150 or 200, and then the launch monitors maybe like another 100 on top of that. Super Speed Golf is where I got it. 98. 99. 99. 100. Two more. 99. 99. All right. So 100 on our lefty swing. The red club. And go back over here. My top ball speed this year, guys, is 172, so That's carrying like 290, 295 in the air probably. But again, guys, it really depends on, you know, course conditions, wind. But yeah, my on-course ball speed, I feel pretty comfy in like the mid 160s. And then, like I said, you know, highest I've seen on like a TrackMan this year was 172. My highest ever is more like 180, but that was a long time ago. All right, let's get right into this. 121. 119. Got the backswing. 121 again. Got the backswing. 122. And we'll go the other side. Mason said hi. Hey, Mason. All right, so there's where we're at. I'm gonna max out these green swings. $105. 107. 105. 107. Let's get 108. 106. Garrett. Hey, Garrett. Thanks for saying hi. Garrett's about to go practice. He's been playing some really good golf. Sounds like Garrett has. Just keep that up, buddy. All right. Now we really try to max it out with our driver. 111. 111. 112. 112. 111. Let's try one more. It's really got the backswing. All right. 112 peak today. I didn't feel the fastest, but I think having already played and walked 9 holes this morning had something to do with that, but still happy I put the work in. Hey, Pods and Garrett, making new friends in the stream chat. Love to see that. All right, guys, before we start doing some more ball striking, which I still need to work on, I'm hitting a lot of wedges today. It's gonna be the focus for today. I want to see if we can get this launch monitor to work into the net. But also, before I do that, guys, look what came in the mail today. How much to eat a cucumber? Well, I don't have a cucumber handy, but I think for like $100, you could, you know, if you drop a stream tanks of $100, I'd probably go eat a cucumber. That seems like just healthy. New putter in the mail. Always exciting. That looks badass. Yeah, this is like the all blacked out black shaft. It's got this lovely little T, kind of alignment aid. I really like, I didn't think I was going to, but I do really like the forward press grip. Right, the shaft is inserted into the grip at an angle, so it kind of forces a forward press. Sycamore says, looks like you're due for a new mat. Yeah, so this is the side we've already worn out, and then I've been trying to spread it around a bit more over here. So I'm pretty excited for this thing to come. Looks like a garden tool. Well, if it makes putts, I'll putt with anything. Yeah, lab golf. I've tried a lab putter before, but I tried the broomstick version, guys, so didn't have much success with that. Excited to try this shorter version, so this came today. I can't wait for my new irons and putter. Wilson is underrated for real. I agree with that. I think Wilson makes some incredible looking irons, especially. I can't say I'm familiar with the, you know, the woods or... Here, let's tell it I'm hitting a sand wedge. And see if it will give me a yardage. Like if I try to hit it like a 100-yard swing. It said 85. Ah. .103. Okay, so that was pretty close to what it felt like it should have been. Maybe I've just been missing out, not using this the whole time. .102. .104. I'm gonna have to do a little more research and find out if this launch monitor is any good with the net, but it seems close. Grab like a 9-iron. Set it to that and see if it's close. Should be like 145, 150 if we hit it solid. Oops, I didn't do this. Iron 9. That was a misread. It said the club speed was 122 miles an hour. Imagine, guys, if I could swing a 9-iron at 122 miles an hour. The Nuns got a lot of love. You better knock it down. You're going to go over that net. Let's try to get to 20 likes on the stream. Thanks, Clicks. I appreciate that support. I've yet to hit one over the net, so... Alright, that felt about right for a pretty poorly hit 9-iron, like 140. Hi! Hello, superstar! Hello! Hi! I know, I'm very sweaty. I'm sure it's super nice. Oh, hello. Yes, hi. Oh, okay. 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 That's a lot of kissing. That's a lot of kissing. Hi. What's your brother doing? Whew. Miss Lady, I don't think you should be over there. I don't want you to get pinged. I can't tell. It seems like there's a lot of misreads. It just said 115 miles an hour, again, club head speed. That was closer, 140 again. Whew. What launch monitor are you using? This is a PRGR portable launch monitor. Looks like this. James says we got 20 likes. Amazing. What's after 20, guys? 30? Should we try to go for 30? Click says also you guys should subscribe. Also, I took your advice on the Tracer app and Power Director. It's helped a ton with my content. Oh, that's awesome, Pod. I'm excited to check it out when I'm done on here. I'll go over to your channel and check it out. How much better did recording yourself make you? Weird question. I just feel like it would really have a lot of effect. Good question. It goes both ways. I try pretty hard not to overanalyze my swing on camera, because I've done that in the past, and even the start of this year to some extent, like really trying to make sure the positions look nice and that I was getting the club in these, very specific areas, and not actually just like practicing hitting the ball. Right? So, you got to do some technical work, but at the end of the day, the golf ball cares about impact. I think I should have been using this all along, guys. I mean, it seems like decently close. Gotta get 30 now. Eddie says, can you show us the proper swing form? Well, I can certainly try. If you have more like a specific question, that is sometimes easier. But generally speaking, we want to bring the club back nice and wide, keeping it away from our body. Then it hinges up as our shoulders turn, right? Our weight stays back here, and then we transition. We shift our weight to the front foot. The club starts coming down. We turn through it, you hit it. Hopefully it ends up flying through the air toward your target. Pretty easy, right? When you just say it in a couple sentences. Hey, Pod, have a good round. Thanks for checking out the stream. Congrats on all the growth of your channel. That's awesome. Thanks for being here, James. Thanks, Eddie. Greetings, beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same sky. Shout out to Squirrel Sniper. Have we all hit that like button? Costs not. Squirrel Sniper is one of our long-serving channel moderators. That's the one thing that I don't love, like the misreads and the inconsistency from shot to shot. Now it just said 101 club head speed, which just can't be right, guys, with a 9-iron. Simply can't be. Let's try a 6-iron and see what it says. Because one swing to the next, it'll be like club speed, 89, which like it's like decently close for a 9-iron maybe. And then it'll be like 115 club head speed. But regardless, we don't need a launch monitor to still get some good practice done out here. Seeing like that says 85 club speed, but 114 ball speed. Like, I don't know where that came from. '86, 119, 8, 182 carry. But it's so hard to know if it's right. I think I'm going to turn it off. M. Jack said hi. Tommy does stuff said hi. Luke and Ashton liked and subbed. Shout out to you guys. If you guys are enjoying hanging out, you want to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, come hang out with us on the stream. What's your handicap? Right now it's about 2, but it's been going up. Started the season around 0. Where am I from? New England area of America. Hi from Ontario. Hello, MJax. Garrett, have you ever shanked one off the wall? Not yet, Garrett. Also, add to the question before, I'm playing 18 4 to 5 times a week, 3 times on a par 3 course, once, twice on a full 72. Hit the range for 30 to 45 minutes before each round. I'm only 6 months into golf, really struggling with overdrawing everything, trying to line myself up right to account for it. Any tips or advice? So yeah, Ashton, if you're hitting it, it sounds like you have lots of time to practice, which is great. And if you're overdrawing it, right, that means that club face is just a bit too closed or pointed to the left at impact, right? So it's causing that big turn from right to left. So what I would have you do is start hitting some shots at slow speed where you force yourself to get that club face more open. You can practice this on your takeaway, right? Letting the club face kind of roll open to present some more loft. There's lots of ways you can do it. You could weaken your grip, right? But you need to get that club face more open at impact. So practice setting up like you were going to hit it right down the middle of the fairway, right? But you're going to force yourself to hit it into the right rough. Like just whatever you have to do, get that club face open so that you can get the ball going over and cutting a little bit, right? Because what I want you to do is start developing the skill of controlling the club face and the path to understand, you know, how it impacts trajectory and impact, right? I could tell you, you know, here's a drill you could do. You could stop hooking it, right? But what I would rather you do is learn how to control the club face. And the way to do that is exaggerating these feels, right? So forcing yourself to hold that club face open and hit a big slice. You know, what does that feel like? What does your body want to do? How am I going to achieve that result? Give yourself a task orientation. Justin said, nice balls. Thanks, Justin. Hello. Welcome to the stream, everyone. You know, answering some questions, hitting some shots. Really working on strike quality for me. Trying to make sure that that impact is right in the center of the club face. That I'm hitting the ball first, right? Hopefully you can hear that kind of nice, crunchy, compressed sound. That's really what I'm working on. Hit a couple iron shots today, just still like fractionally further towards the toe than I would want to. But overall, I was pretty pleased with how I struck the ball. Again, it was a practice round, so, you know, playing a couple balls. Did a little, I did a 7-iron only challenge for one hole, which was pretty fun. You guys hopefully will like that one. Played a par 5 all the way from start to finish with just a 7-iron. That was pretty fun. Thanks for the advice. Any range drills or anything you'd suggest for that? Yeah, so in addition to what I already mentioned, Ashton, you know, if you're really struggling with the overdraw and face is shut and the path is way out to the right, you could grab a head cover, drop it down inside and to the left of your ball, right? This is going to block that really inside path. So if you were hitting a huge hook, some of it could be if you're approaching way out to the right and the face is really shut, like this. Right? Well, as you can see, the path to the ball will be blocked if you put the head cover there. So hitting some shots like this could force you to get that path more neutral, right, across the ball. And to hit it straight, you'll naturally want to, you know, keep that face open. So you could do this drill in the range, right, practicing not hitting that head cover. And if it was a slice, we would do the opposite, right? we'd want to block that out to in path to get it going more out to the right. So inside for a hook, outside for a slice. Nick, these are Tacoma 301 CB irons. Also, what helped you adjust, really find your distances with 9 iron below? Because I'm struggling as well to find distances, keeping them consistent. Yeah, I think that just comes with practice, and also spending some time on a launch monitor. But you could do this on the golf course if you were practicing, right? You could find, a 100-yard shot and, with 3 or 4 golf balls, hit a couple different clubs to understand, how far they're flying. But generally speaking, get on a launch monitor, hit all your clubs 5, 6, 7, 8 times, get an average of how far they're carrying and the total distance. And that can really help with that distance control to understand how far the different clubs are going for you. But again, the old-fashioned way is just, you say, okay, I'm 100 yards from the green. Do I need a pitching wedge or a 9 iron? And, swing a club that you think is the right one. And when you hit it solid, if you hit it about that distance, then you should have an idea that that's, the right club. But the inconsistency in distance control also could be about, the loft you're delivering an impact, right? If you're really de-lofting it in some swings and some swings not, right? That could really have an impact on how far the ball's flying. Any cheaper launch monitor you would recommend? Been looking into one. So this is the PRGR one that I have. I don't know if I would recommend it simply because I think it's good for just club head speed, doing the speed training, but it seems very inconsistent outside of that. The one that I have seen really highly recommended, and the one that I would love to get out here someday, is a Rapsodo MLM2 Pro. I think everything I've seen suggests that that is, far and away the best launch monitor in its price range. I think that one's like $699. And it goes head to head with, I think it was within like 1% of the TrackMan data. I think that was tiny bit toe side again. Let's turn it back on and see if we can try to get some club head speed data that could be moderately right. All right, 89, that seems close. 89, 122, 186. $186 again. $188. That seems, it seems close. I mean, that's what, if you ask me on the golf course, like, what's your, how far would you hit a 6 iron? I'd say between 185 and 190, so take it. Chip says, great hitting net. Thanks very much, Chip. What kind of net is that? Brand and price, please. Great question, guys. It is called a Net Return Pro. So the price, I think, is $95. Oh no, did we lose? Are we back? I think we're back. I might have broken it. Hard to say. I meant to do this before I started, but I simply didn't. Get 10% off your net return purchase. Okay, so you should see, if you're interested in the hitting net, there should be now in the description, guys, a link. Oh, stream bugged for a second. Sorry about that, guys. I think we're back now. So Chip and our other friend here were asking about the net. Like I said, Net Return Pro. If you're interested, click the link in the description of the live stream there. 10% off with that code. I think it's like John21744. Get 10% off. I'm going to be using this thing for like the next 10 years, I'm convinced. I'm glad that I invested in one that seems well built. I've already had to pack it up and move it once. You know, it was very easy. I did it by myself. It takes about 4 minutes to put it back together. 188 again. $189. There's the other golf balls. Sorry about the bugginess on the stream. It's you know, we're really pushing the limits of the Wi-Fi to get it all the way out here to the backyard, but someday hopefully we'll have like some sort of extender or something like that. Ashton says, all good, we're back. All right, good. Nice, that's great to hear. Ashton also says, I've been fitted for half my bag, some of the harder irons, 2 of my hybrids. Any tips or tricks from getting fitted to make sure the clubs stick and you can do less? So I think, yeah, again, it's about, I liked getting fit. You know, I got fit for my driver and the 3-wood and 5, and got fit for these irons, you know, not these irons specifically, but the shafts, which I think are arguably more important. I think it's good to get fit because you don't have to worry anymore. You just say, like, oh, I hit all the drivers, all the shafts, and I know that the one I got is really going to optimize, you know, for at least the swing that I brought that day. And you don't have to worry about it anymore. So I think, you know, as you progress in your golf journey, Ashton, it's something that you will just get more comfortable with. You'll say, okay, I'm shying away from this club because I don't feel comfortable with it. Maybe that's one that I should think about getting fit for, right, such that I can, you know, try to move past that part. 185. Hey, Paul Cummins is here. Hey, Paul, welcome from Scotland. Appreciate you being here, Paul. We did a little bit of speed training. Now we're hitting some longer irons. I've got a 6-iron here in my hand. See, that's where it just, maybe the ball speed is right and it's backing into the club speed, but it says I swung that 6-iron 116, which would be nice if it was true, but it simply isn't. Now we're back. How many times have you been fitted / switched clubs throughout journey? A whole bunch. Well, I'll say the clubs that I've been fit for, I haven't switched much, right? Well, I did get you know, I kept the shaft in that driver, but I had to get a new driver because the face cracked. So it's been a little while since I've like properly been fit. There we go, 195. See how that swing looked. Christopher says, how'd you make that mat? Great question, Christopher. So the mat is, this is just a 3x5 hitting mat from like Exporting Goods. Underneath that, I've got some mats and like gym foam tiles, you know, the ones that interlock you would put down on your floor like in a basement home gym. And that's really just to provide some padding under here, you know, as I'm hitting lots and lots of iron shots off of this, you know, a surface that's much less forgiving than real grass. So trying to take some of that blow and, you know, energy out of it. It's just 2x4 screwed together with some plywood underneath. You know, I cut the mat pieces to fit, made it pretty square. Probably could have gone a little higher, right? As you can see, you know, like some wedge shots, if I hit them too close up here, I've hit the frame here with the bottom of the club. 181. 188. 190. Peter, my driver hits initial straight, but then normal moves radical right. Any recommendations? Pete from Oxford, England. Hey, welcome from Oxford, England, Pete. So if your drives are slicing well to the right, what that tells me is that your club face at impact is probably a bit too open, right? Such that you're cutting across it, right? The best drill, you know, lots of our followers have done this drill and come back and said, wow, that really helped me with my slice. What I'll have you do is grab your head cover, drop it down behind the ball to the right. And if you have a slice problem, if you're struggling with the driver, especially with a slice, this drill is for you, all right? So 9 times out of 10, most of the time, people are slicing the ball because their takeaway is inside and then their swing goes over the top this way to get back to the ball, right? But because we're trying to hit the ball that way, you know, naturally we're going to hold the club face open and almost like a shot in tennis, right? If you wanted to hit like a spinny lob shot, you would kind of open the racket and cut down and across it. Same idea is happening here. You're getting that short, spinny, high right shot, right? Whereas you want more of that kind of forehand feel, right? A powerful, you know, strike, a draw even out there, right? So this head cover in this position is going to block your path to the ball if you make that over the top move, right? So the first step is going to be getting some more width in the backswing, keeping that club further away from you out this way so that it can shallow and you can hit it from the inside, right? But then you can even hit shots with this down here, right? And practice avoiding hitting that head cover. And you should see that ball really start to fly straighter through the air. AI says back again, swing looking crisp. Thanks very much, AI. Does your girlfriend like you sitting out back doing this? Well, my wife is actually very supportive of all of my YouTube endeavors. I'm very fortunate to have a partner who is just that, a wonderful partner. She's encouraging. She, you know, gets me hyped up when I'm not, you know, thrilled with how things are going, or, yeah, no, I'm very lucky. My wife is very supportive of me doing this. Muscle memory is key, exactly. Reed said hi. Hey, Reed. Ashton, hit a 3-iron. Those things give me nightmares. 420 somewhere said hi. Hey, 420. Talon literally got around in 10 minutes, so give me some tips. Just tap it in, exactly. Be the ball. Thanks for the tip to fix my slice, and I love your leg sleeve. Thanks, Toxic. I appreciate that. Very nice. Ashton, I don't have a 3-iron in the bag currently. I've got an old blade 3-iron upstairs. $183. Oh, that was head of the heel. $188. So I'm pretty, I mean, these are decent numbers with a 6-iron, guys. You know, 89, 90, 91, kind of club speed. You know, I'd love to eventually get that up more like 94, 95. $186, 89 again. $190. See, that's where I don't understand. It says that's at 98 club head speed. It's just not accurate enough, I don't think. What do you guys think? Should I try and invest in a better launch monitor for out here, really get some good data hitting into the net? Ugh. I feel like Rapsoda would be the natural answer. How to keep shoulders closed on downswing? Good question, Grant. So I think, right, the way to do this would be to exaggerate it. And I've struggled with this myself sometimes, so I think it's for you going to find what is the feel when you successfully, hit the shot and the strike you want with the shoulders more closed, right? Because I've struggled with this too, and the shoulders kind of spin out this way, right? And then you're kind of trying to adjust in the downswing, right? Whereas if you keep them more closed, it's much easier. You can kind of just stay in your posture, right? Keeping this shoulder, not letting it fly out this way, right? So what I would tell you is just exaggerate that feeling, and you can practice it even at slow speed, right? So you can make a backswing and then say, okay, I'm going to really keep my shoulders nice and closed as I come down and through, right? Keep that left shoulder high, and just try to really exaggerate the movement. Reed said hi. Hey, Reed. Do you just go hybrid instead? Yeah, so I have a lot of head covers right now. We've got irons up to 6, and then a 5 hybrid, a 7 wood, a 5 wood, and a 3 wood, and then the driver. I will tell you guys, I hit the 3 wood the least out of all of those. Strike must have not been very good on that one. The 5 hybrid goes like 205, 200, 205 is where I'll pull that club. Then 7 wood's more like 220, 225. But I love that club because it, especially off the fairway, I have that distance between like that 210 to 250 number into par 5s a lot, or long par 3s. So with the 7 wood, it just spins and comes out super high and soft, lands, nice and softly on greens, right? I love hitting my 2-iron off the tee, but it's not nearly as forgiving or versatile hitting it into greens. .186. Grant said, thank you, I'm thinking about getting the Rapsodo. Well, definitely, let me know. Let me know what you think if you do get one. How far do you drive the ball? On the golf course, I'd say like between 280 and 290, pretty comfortably. What kind of hitting that is that? T-Bone, good question. This is a Net Return Pro. If you're interested in learning more about the Net Return, hit the link in the description. And if you end up buying one with that discount code, you'll get 10% off. So it's definitely a quality piece of equipment. It's a premium price, but I've been really pleased with the quality of the construction, its durability. I've already hit, a whole bunch of golf shots into it. I've already packed it up and moved it once. Nice. .185. Let's go back and watch some of these swings. A little disconnected at the top. What's your favorite club in your bag and why? So my favorite club in the bag is driver. And I think just historically it's been the club that I've outperformed with the most, right? I've always had a fair amount of speed. I've always been a pretty good driver of the ball. It's taken me a lot longer to get my iron play to match or be close to how good I can drive it when I drive it well. So that one said 188, but I definitely thinned it a bit. Maybe just because the club head speed was up. Oh, that one's hit terribly. Oh, thanks for picking up that one that I didn't need or want. 189. That's so funny. I think maybe it's just picking up the ball speed and then backing into what it thinks the right smash factor is. Because that said 122 club head speed with a 6-iron, 123 ball speed, 189 carry. Like, none of that. Those can't all be true. Focus on the ball only, bud, from start to finish. Cheers. Thanks, Paul. That is good advice. I do find myself sometimes thinking, like, was I really looking at the ball all the way through impact? That was hit not well. Yeah, that was a good one. $186. That felt good, nice and balanced. 187. Let's see how fast we can get a 6-iron going. Didn't pick it up. That was actually hit pretty well too. I do know there are different golf balls that I think the launch monitors like better. They're called like RTC or RCT ball, something like that. Ugh. What ball tracker are you using? Good question. This is the PRGR launch monitor, just a little guy. Got that with my super speed golf stuff back in the day. A few years ago, we got that. Imagine 121 club head speed with a 6-iron. That'd be cool. See, it just the miss pickups. Oh, that was not good. Nope. It is decided it's had enough for today. Ashton, how far do you hit a 9-iron? If you were like, pick your perfect 9-iron distance on the golf course, I'd probably say like 146 yards. Put that away for today. I like to practice feeling some, you know, some draws, some fades. Oh, sometimes like I just did, you know, if you hit 3, 4, 5 in a row that aren't close to the center of the face, good to just feel that ball on the club face again. Let's turn it back on and see if it wants to behave. If you guys start, everybody, if you tag Rapsodo in your comments, do you think if you pick the club up at the start of your backswing, that's why it doesn't register? I don't know. I'm not really sure. Maybe I have it too far away or too close. I'm not sure. How are you, John? Did you already play the 9 holes today? I did. I played very early this morning. First thing, got out there, had the whole place to myself, hit a bunch of practice shots. Nope, 113 club head speed, it's saying, with a 6 iron. .193, but still, like 106 club head speed is not right. I don't know if it's bothering me more or if I should keep it. .189. That seemed pretty close. .87, 183. So inconsistent at best, I can say that. All right, but I really wanted to do today, after AI mentioned, I did play some holes this morning, and my main complaint or takeaway was just a couple wedges that I hit, not nearly as, you know, kind of out of the center of the club as I would hope. So one of my objectives for this afternoon's hitting session, in addition to the speed training that we already did, was to hit some wedges. So I've got a 56 degree here, and I'm just going to be working on strike, you know, hitting the center of the club face, making sure that I'm hitting the ball first and then the turf. That's the one that feels to me just a tiny bit stuck, and it comes out on the toe. That was better. Whew. Do you think you could outstroke me? Hard to say, THC Tycoon. Hendrix, I'm coming to play the Rec 9 right next to that course. Good luck, boss. Hendrix says, I'm playing the Virginia Beach Club today. Have you played in Long Beach? I have not, but it sounds nice. Matt, just subbed, looking to do similar content like you. Very cool, Matt. Cody said, always grinding. How'd you shoot this AM? I hit it okay. Thomas, didn't you ever have back or shoulder issues like back pain or an injured muscle? Yeah, I've had lots of back pain. Keith, golf was never about tech. You just hit the ball. You should worry about what the stupid app tells you. Fair point. I do think the technology can be beneficial. You know, launch monitors and understanding carry distances, things like that. But you're not wrong. The golf ball is a great teacher. And HPC said hi. Hey, guys. Thanks for hanging out. If you guys, like Matt, are enjoying the stream, you want to hit that subscribe button. It really does help us out. That's nice. Always great to have a round of golf when the course is not too busy. Yeah, I totally agree. And I was able to walk. I just kind of had a nice, lovely morning stroll to myself. Filmed a little bit just to see how the swing was looking, and I did film, I played a par 5 with just a 7 iron, so you guys will see that video coming out before too long. Really putting the top part of the net to the test here, guys. Hitting some full swing sand wedges. But as you can see, really no concerns at all. Even from, I'm probably 8 feet away, you know, 6 to 8 feet from here. So this is great practice, just hitting some smooth ones. Really focused on hitting the center of that club face. Whew. What's your handicap? Usually around 0. Have you chunked it over the net yet? Nope, not yet. AB, I beat you with one arm tied behind my back, and I only have one arm. You know, it's possible. You could be really good. That setup is cool. How'd you build that? How's it elevated to be level with the 2x4? It isn't, Nelly. This is there's a bit of a step here, right? I've got this kind of wedged into the ground for stability, but there's, you know, a tiny bit of a step here. And I just collect the balls and pop them back on the mat. This is just 2x4s and plywood with some, you know, gym tiles underneath of my hitting mat. My Net Return Pro. This is some super cheap fake grass AstroTurf from Lowe's. Don't shop at Home Depot. So yeah, that's the whole setup. If you only have one arm and tie behind your back, you ain't swinging whiz. He got legs and foot wedge, yeah. That reminds me of the Monty Python skit where he's like, "Your arm's off." No, it's not. And the guy's got no arms and he's still trying to fight him. I might really be dating myself. Do people still know what Monty Python is? I hope so. Down to down down. Whew. I like it. Might have to build it. Foot wedge is the best. Doesn't take room in your. Well said, AB. Well said. See, we can still be friends even after you claimed you could beat me with 0 arms. If you said 1 arm, I've been on board. I'd be like, I've seen people do crazy stuff with 1 arm in golf and otherwise, but no arms at all is going to be tough. Pretty consistent. I mean, that like 95 to 100 yard range. Oh, that was hit out of the toe. That's the one I'm trying to get away from. It's not terrible. It's just like I can feel it's more toe side than it really should be. And we're gonna lose, you know, that 5% of carry distance that we don't want to. Yeah, I think that's the next thing we gotta do, guys. We gotta upgrade our launch monitor, get some better data out here. Thomas, do you often train with 1 arm only? No, never. I putt one-handed because I ruin it with both arms. I've done that before. I've hit. I played 18 holes and hit every putt with just one hand on the putter. Speaking of putters, guys, really excited. Speaking of tech, Thomas, check out this tech we're putting in the bag on the greens. We've got a fully fledged, you know, branding iron spaceship looking thing to attack the greens with. Join the lab putting team. You guys can watch me never miss a short putt again. That's what I'm telling myself because I hate missing short putts. Pretty solid. Again, with these kinds of clubs, guys, we're just looking for consistency. I don't want to hit this club 130 yards. I want to hit it, you know, 105, 110, 100, something like that. You'll be knackered hitting all these balls, John. Maybe. But I love it. I love hitting balls. One of my favorite things to do. Shank. I know. If I shank it, I'm in real trouble because it would probably miss the net, and who knows where it's going after that. This is a 56 degree, guys. Sand wedge. Very consistently going around that 95 number. I like that swing a lot. That felt really solid. Just trying to get everything in the right place. Hey, Benji said, yo. What's up, Benji? I love hitting balls with my foot wedge. Shout out to AB and his foot wedge. He's got it all figured out. All right, we'll go a couple clubs longer. We'll hit some pitching wedges. Ah. Important to hydrate, guys. Woo. Isaac's here. Paul says sand iron's my favorite club. Good luck if you're playing this week. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate that. I've got a practice round on Sunday and then a qualifier on Tuesday of next week. Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm not sure. So that's coming up. Thomas, do you use some kind of launch monitor or just crispy contact feeling? So usually just the latter, but I usually use this launch monitor just for speed training, guys. But I've been trying it out today with the irons as well. And it's definitely inconsistent. It's not like a high quality launch monitor. You know, sometimes it picks up the backswing. Sometimes it says, you know, I'm swinging at like 120 with a 6-iron. So mostly I'm going off of the feeling of the strike and where it impacts the net, right? I'm trying to see it, you know, hit a specific spot. But it's not bad. I mean, I think it gives me some frame of reference. Like once I have a sense of like, you know, okay, it's telling me that the 6-irons are all flying 188, right? And then if I hit one and it says 177, well, I probably mishit it. So I think for that kind of feedback, it's not bad. That was hit pretty well. Whew. Hey, thanks for being here, Paul. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Love doing these little half swings, guys. Just really dial in your face contact, your ground contact. Give it a good smack. But just by slowing everything down, you can really make sure that you're delivering a nice, crisp, crunchy strike on the ball. Good for tempo, good for all kinds of stuff. Whew. All right, it's steamy out. That's probably going to do it for tonight, guys. Thanks for being here. If you do want to help me out, hit that subscribe button. One last chance before we sign off. Hit that like button. Maybe we can get to 60 likes on the stream before we call it quits. I think I see 57 right now, so go ahead, hit that like button for me, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you want to get the notifications for when we're going to do this again. And like I always say, thank you guys very much for all the support. Truly, I'm extremely grateful for all the nice comments, all the engagement. You know, everybody liking and sharing the shorts and videos. Joining the live streams over and over again, all our returning viewers, right? All the new subscribers, you know, helping us continue to do golf stuff, talk about mental health and sobriety, all these things that are important to me. And you guys, you know, are showing up for me as an audience, so I'm going to keep showing up for you. And, you know, that's the deal we make with each other. So thank you again. I really appreciate everybody checking out the content. We'll see you next time.